Zip the dog and I are out for a walk, enjoying the sunset. And was thinking about you guys and wanted to pop in and say hello. You know, this is where I've got time to make the content this week. I got some interviews queued up for the podcast, which I'm really stoked about. But for now, I'm walking in the woods with the dog. And for those of you who've been following along, it's no longer winter, it's spring, it's beautiful. And really excited to share that with you. It's been a long couple weeks, man. I feel like everybody's super busy across the board and adapting to changes in the system. And so we take our moments for some peace and quiet in nature to clear our minds and, before we get back at the task at hand. And just popping into the social medias because if you're going to use it for business, you have to use it. And so I use social media and I set measured amounts of time for each platform, but there are certain things that I check in, and that's a known factor in how the algorithm sees me. I also have multiple accounts on multiple social channels that I change in different ways to test and see what is that algorithm doing, what is the community doing, what are all the people doing. You always swap the words algorithm and person. You know, what are the people doing on the internet? And pretty wild. Really, really fun lessons learned. And why am I bringing this up? Because whenever I go to Instagram, I see Farmer Sydney and Matt Cabnan, because the algorithm knows that I will always like their post. And Sydney's been doing a great job of showing his process, having a very approachable, conversational tone. Not selling a lot, but you can get from him, from Matt, from a whole bunch of the other livestock farmers I know. I'm more livestock territory if this is your first viewing of me. It's about business and marketing, but I focus in the livestock area because that's what I know. Specifically pasture-based livestock, smaller farms. But digital marketing, creating content, videos, photos, the written word, that's my jam. Love it. And so no matter what, I'm gonna make some video and take you with me on my walk because I want you to experience my swamp here in Western CT. And I wanna have a few moments to talk about the things that I'm passionate about with my small community of APA members. So this video is for Sid. I teach that, every piece of content should be for one person. Have that one person in mind, because then you'll have the ideal voice in your head. You'll know what to say, hopefully. And you can get that point across, and you're inspired to do it because you know you're going to take that piece of social media and text it to that person, hand deliver that letter. I do that a lot these days. I'm 180 videos into this year across multiple different channels and formats. And I hand deliver a lot of those messages specifically to people. Sydney's one of them. And Sydney watches and comments on the YouTube channel, and he will comment on the rare occasion that I post something on Meta. I don't want to be on every platform, and there's a lot of conversations that I don't want to be a part of. I would like more people to try raising livestock on a management-based system that rotates so that they're getting some benefit and building soils. It's going to have different contexts depending on where you are in the country. But I know that with all those different adaptations on these topics of talking about our farms, being passionate about what we do, I've aligned with a bunch of people, and those are the people that I'm making content for. One of them is Sydney. And so whenever I get into my head about the politics of the food system, kind of rein it in, it's not what today's conversation is about. Even though it feels like it's riding in the background of pretty much everybody on the internet these days. And which is wild because being on the different platforms, getting to see Sydney, getting to see Matt, I'm also being exposed to a whole bunch of new people that I've never seen before across a whole bunch of different ideas as well, because I dabble in some different industries. And as a general trend for how the internet is working these days, when I got my start in YouTube 15 years ago, hold on, I gotta call the dog in. I'm gonna, up. He goes slower when it's swampy. So we'll pause here and wait for the dog to catch up. How the internet's working, 2025. When I started 14 years ago and was making YouTube videos and very much ad hoc on a stick, just like I got right now. It's funny that it's come full circle to that for production value. But it's very much about the topic and how you deliver the information on that topic. And even if back in the day I needed a larger following in order to have that reach of subscribers, if you wanted to be in touch with a group of people, is about building that community, having those subscribers, where now there's opportunities on the internet, across all these platforms, where small creators, small accounts are getting some reach. Some of those posts really pop off, and it's all for free to post. It takes time, energy, equipment to make a video. But let's face it, the barriers to entry versus what I was doing 15, 20 years ago in the, oh God, how old am I now? Old enough. In the entertainment media, what I can accomplish in the audio quality, the video quality on a cell phone is just phenomenal. And if you have a message, something that you really want to share because you love it, because you love raising the animals out and about, you love whatever it doesn't matter. I don't need to explain the internet this deeply. But there's opportunities for those small creators to reach a bigger audience. And as you become more direct with your messaging, like this podcast is totally not right now, but that's okay. You'll practice, and as you refine and listen to the feedback from the people that are watching your stuff, answer those questions, build that community, the internet and the algorithms start to see how you are relevant to the other things and people and cohorts around you. Everything's about sorting into buckets of like interests. It is an attention-based economy more than a follower-based economy on the internet right now, where it's more about, instead of going for subscribers, you're going for the attention in that moment. And for you, for local SEO, and this will apply for, I'm talking to Sydney now, this will apply for your social media, your Google business profile, your website. You don't have to worry about going viral and impressing everybody on the internet, but creating enough content, getting comfortable enough, you don't have to show your face. Sid does. He's a handsome man. But you can just show your farm and your experience, make that body of content, talk about what you do and where you do it and who you are. And that repetition over and over and over again is how you get picked up by the various types of search engines, whether it's AI search or Google search or Bing search or DuckDuckGo or this one, that one, that one. They need some context to know who you are. And so you have to be comfortable with putting that version of you out on the internet, knowing that you're going to stand there waving around your arm in the woods doubles as swatting flies and talking to a brick on a stick. You get into these stream of consciousness podcasts, and without the feedback for someone else to check you, a guest, a co-host, when I'm conducting an interview, it's easy because I'm listening to what their response is and guiding them in a direction, and I have a story arc in the back of my head, and I've done some research on them. And I could put a lot more energy into scripting these podcasts, but occasionally I just want to reach out and hit one or two friends, and really don't mind if this one isn't as popular. Creating body content for somebody, sharing it with them on a regular basis, and finding those beautiful moments in life when you get to pause in the woods and stop talking to the camera and enjoy how much birdsong is happening all around me right now. So I'm gonna go do that. Thanks for taking the time to stop in and say hello. I have updates. I'm building some chicken tractors. I'm making other videos. I hate to talk about what I'm going to do. I'd rather show you the things that I'm doing when I do it. So I've been a little bit more quiet from my recent cadence on the podcast because I've closed off some projects, and some projects require paperwork, which doesn't make for good content. I'm opening up some new projects and keeping my life balanced, spending time with family, and occasionally getting to see a friend or two. Thanks for taking the time to stop in, listen to me ramble. Until next time, I will see you out in the field.